Your daily dose of dopamine. My name is Robert. It's my pal Susan. Happy 2025.
Oh yes, Happy New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, no, good to be back here with you. It is as good a time as any to refresh. People spend the new year refreshing, starting new things, making pledges and promises for what they're going to do. One thing we've made a commitment to at Yes and Exercise is examining stories. A lot of that came out of the All In back in November, where we very happily heard this movement about rebranding Parkinson's disease. Like, do, do we have some energy to get behind this thing? So we've been talking offline since then. I've been stewing with this idea of dangerous stories since then, right? And I finally got the first version of it up, and it is on our website if you want to read it. So, Susan, take it away. You said your honest reaction to it. Go ahead.
To the concept of rebranding, to rebranding itself. I was gonna just for the fun of it ask Chat GPT to tell me why a business or someone would rebrand something just to see what it would say, and I forgot to do that. So it's up to us, I guess. um, it in itself is scary because it's change and you don't know what the consequence or the result of a significant, fundamental change. So it takes courage, it takes thoughtfulness, it mostly takes a huge impetus from within, pushing you to go do something that's hard and kind of unnatural. Um, just that's just pretty surface level, but
Well, I was going to say that sounds very general. Let me, if I didn't, I want to redirect. I wrote a blog called "Rewriting the Dangerous Stories in Parkinson's Disease." Very focused. That's
yes,
what I want you to react to. What did you read the blog first of all?
I did. I underlined
Okay,
things.
great.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
So please,
yes.
what did you see, feel, notice, anything?
Primarily the concept that we as people with Parkinson's and in our community actually allow ourselves to kind of get off the hook or to not fight for more. Um, and that's got us nowhere. And that while it may feel good to be able to say, yeah, my Parkinson's is pretty well under control, it's not that bad.
Okay, that's not, now I'm getting what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, that, it's to say it's not that bad, in a way it feels good as the patient to
Okay.
have your symptoms kind of under control. But the message that you put out, if that's all you ever say, and you have a
Right.
intention of almost, um, uh, you don't want to have the other guy feel worried about you or whatever. That it's kind of
So,
dishonest.
yeah, well, great. I'm glad you used the word dishonest and the messaging. I want to, frame that in the work of stories because I think this is part of what, in order to drive this conversation forward, in my opinion, we have to really get people to invest into stories. The fact that A, they're doing it whether they mean to or not. Because some people think, oh, I'll tell my story in a second. It's like, you are already telling your story. Okay. The question is, do you like the story you're telling?
Is it serving you?
Is it
How?
serving you?
Yeah,
Right? Does your
in a
does your
good way.
story, in Nicole's terms, my dear cousin who's now a board member, yay, does your story align with your values? That's a really good question. And I would say, akin to what you were just saying, many people with Parkinson's, I don't think the type of stories that you're mentioning do align necessarily with those people's values based on the conversations I've had, right? You wouldn't say it was fine if we're being completely honest, and you use the word dishonest, right? So yeah, that's really good, Susan.
And to have a like a buffer or something in your mind that you got to do it to protect yourself.
Right.
Maybe unless you're in a real depressive downward spiral, which happens so easily in this disease. Whereas if you're able to, and I talk to myself and to others about this all the time. If you're able to remember the both all of it, it's just a more honest appraisal of where you are, and we're
Okay.
just touching the tip of this iceberg here.
Absolutely. Nope. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about honesty and its role in health because we've got this enigma in Parkinson's. We know that. Nobody knows exactly what it is. So that's part of the honest conversation, right? So, yeah, good. Let's come back in the next dose. See you in a minute.